Everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 Hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourselves today and then nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity. Then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I'm going to talk on becoming meditative and the most simple way to start becoming meditative, right? This is simply the way, mostly through flow, right? So by this I mean the most natural way, something that you don't really got to effort yourself into all that much, right? So the most effortless way to become meditative, right? Let's get into this. Um, so meditation is pretty much the art of becoming more aware. Meditation is being watchful. Meditation is being conscious, right? Alert, focus, and getting in flow through this state, right? And the flow is very, very necessary because in the flow, you're going to find the everlasting life that is within you, right? And you're only off of it because sense of separation. So you have a sense of separation that you're separate from the universe, but you aren't actually separate from the universe. This is just an illusory concept that has been planted into your mind so that you won't actually connect with source energy, right? Because if this happens, things are very, very much different from there, you know? So they keep people disconnected from source because they want to keep a control over people. And this is also why they plant the sense of separation within you, but there is no separation. The ether or the space, usually what we conceive as separate or as separating, is just an extension of our body, right? This is why we can't, most people don't see the aura because they kind of put us off of the whole perception of it, right? Because if we were seeing if everybody was seeing people's aura, then sense of separation would discontinue and our spatial awareness would grow very, very deep, which is what is needed. You need to grow your spatial awareness. So it's in the spatial awareness as you start to grow it. You're going to find deeper and deeper senses of unification. And in this unification, you're going to find eternal life, everlasting life, which is synonymous with the universal flow. So the universal flow is also it's pretty much being in meditativeness or meditation, right? So becoming meditative is very, very simple. The most natural way is to literally be at peace, right? Let it go, let it be at peace, and allow the natural flow that you're already in to take its flow, right? Uh, so by this I mean if you're following any method, besides this one, then don't strain yourself or don't effort yourself into getting into the flow because the flow is already something that is happening, right? So it's more of a realization uh, that comes to you, and it's self-realization. Self-realization is meditativeness or is meditation, or it comes through meditation. So uh, all that's needed for meditativeness is to just be at peace right? You start to look within yourself more often. This is what is needed. You need to look within yourself rather than looking outside, because when they're putting your awareness outside of yourself, it's a distraction to keep you away from looking within yourself, which is going to eventually lead you to self-realization and enlightenment. So you yourself, everything, because everything is yourself, everything is one organism, is just putting you off of self-realization and enlightenment until you learn, I guess as an individual can learn. It's the universe is like a machine for building gods and goddesses, right? So you're just teaching yourself that you got to you got to come into self-awareness, or you got to come into self-realization, right? And it may take a little bit of effort, but for the most part it's going to be effortless, because things are effortless in their nature is effortless, right? And this is Wu Wei, effortless effort. It should just happen by itself. And meditation, meditativeness, meditative states come by themselves. You can't actually meditate. Meditation is something that happens, right? So you can't actually effort yourself into meditation, but it's something that's going to happen to you spontaneously, you know. So you can actually try to meditate, because it's not something that you're doing. Meditation is something that's happening to you, right? So it's a spontaneity, and it's effortless. So you come into meditation without actually trying. You just you have to allow things to be, right? And you can't actually worry about it either, because this is already putting you off of a meditative state. So you just got to forget about it and let it be. And eventually, effortlessly, you come into meditative states. And this is when you actually are coming more in tune within yourself, and you start becoming more aware, right? And this is what is really needed. You need to become more aware, because if you're unconscious, you're going to be miserable, right? The more conscious you are, the more blissful you are, because consciousness and bliss are one and the same. Because the more you're conscious, it's easier to understand that everything is unconditional love, and it's within your unconsciousness, or let's say your ignorance. Not that they're the same, but maybe in your ignorance, there's things that are keeping you miserable, right? Like things that you're not able to properly understand, because there's no clarity, and it's distorted, and you're ignoring it. So you can't actually come to an understanding to clarify things up. So when you bring in awareness, it actually allows you to bring a clearer picture, and it allows you to understand it. And through understanding it, you find that there's only bliss there, because whatever it was that was bringing you misery is was coming from a misunderstanding, you know. So everything that's bringing you misery is just a misunderstanding, because it's either coming from an ignorance or an unconsciousness, or maybe a compulsion, right? But consciousness. So the more conscious you are, the more blissful you're going to be. And the more conscious you are, the more you're going to be able to touch upon that everlasting life, the nurturing force of the universe, life, right? And life is eternal, because death doesn't actually exist. So the more conscious you are of this, the more you can dive into the eternal life. And this is why it brings bliss, because there's nothing to actually fear. There's nothing to misunderstand. Everything is already here for you, as it should be. you know, and life is a dream, and it's through awareness that you find this out, right? And you can experience this only through being meditative as well. So, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. I do thank everybody for watching once again. Peace out. One love and have a great evening.